Documentation. I seen so many people mess up because they didn't have none of their business documented and signed and dated. That is legally binding if those options happen. Watch this. I got finished. I was listening to a lead attorney. The lead attorney talked about prenups, how to avoid getting fleeced in a divorce. You need to have a prenup that spells out the arrangements in case a divorce happens. He's a lawyer. He knows about these things. Now let's take it to my field. At one point in time, I have 80 employees I was responsible for. And in my field, we make things with big machineries, mechanics, welding, fabrication, using hydraulics, heavy equipment. And OSHA requires a lot of documentation for any manufacturing facility over, I think, 12 employees. So I had a whole 3-inch notebook full of documentation. Some of the items in there requires yearly documentation. Some requires monthly documentation. And some requires on the spot when you're about to do it, like a hot work permit documentation. If you don't have those documents, if those documents are not signed and updated, it don't make no difference how y'all was doing it. If the man comes down there, y'all effing up and y'all wasn't doing it correctly. Why? Because you don't have no documentation to prove it. You see, guys, documentation, having your proof, anytime you go into a business arrangement, make sure you have documentations. As a former manager, when managers get ready to get rid of your butt, they document a lot of things. They show a trend in employee failure with documentation. So in case you try to come back and say, hey, you fired me over illegal reasons, that manager or that company will have the documents to prove they stuff wrong. Now, take me, for example. At one point, I had to leave, I guess, not resign, but mutual agreement leave from a place of employment. And on the other side, they tried to, let me see here, how you call it? Lie. They did a lot of lies, especially my superior, my direct superior, a whole lot of lies. But what they did not know, that I document everything. And what they did not know, since I knew their argument was lies, I document the proof, the financial proof by a profit and loss statement. I had that documentations already printed, already not signed, but already printed off their databases. So when it came to the opportunity where they tried to let me go, and they said, hey, I did not contribute anything to the profit and loss of this company, I had my documentation. They tried to offer me $6,000. I told them I rejected that offer. And then they offered me, well, how much did it went up? They offered me $9,000, and I rejected that offer. I felt and I knew I was wrongly discarded. So I hired a lawyer, and I had to pay money. $3,000. We couldn't get that resolved into argument we both agreed on. So I paid an extra $5,000. So $8,000 in total. So I rejected $9,000, paid a lawyer $8,000. I just wanted what was due to me. And your reason for causing me this departure and all this drama that ensue during this process, remember they got finding trends, so they go doing trends. They go show a proof. I wanted a certain amount of money to walk off, and if I wasn't gonna get that money, it's gonna be a fight on your hands. And at the end of the day, I knew their argument, and I knew exactly how to face it, because I had the proof in my hands. So when we went to our arbitrator, I told him, hey, if you want to know the truth, request the profit and loss statements over the past year. And you can see how this company went from negative $500,000 to a positive $3 million with 6 months remaining in the year. That is your proof. I had my documentation. And since I came prepared for the fight and knew their position, I was ready for it. Document. If you are having a problem with your supervisor, your job, document, save a copy of everything. Now what I do now in my emails, every time I receive an email, it goes to my inbox, and another copy is sent somewhere else, off-site or in another box. And that stores all my documentations. If I complete a task, I write down the task I completed, when, and boom, send an email. An email since the late 1990s is proof that a person done something. An email will hold up in court. So keep everything documented. If you are facing waves at your employment and you know you are not the problem, it's they want to do something to get rid of your butt, start documenting and start saving some money. Because you may have to hire some legal defense. On this channel, No Black Gossip, I preach and will talk about self-defense. Sometimes self-defense is not with your hands. Sometimes you need a bankroll for self-defense. Sometimes you need a network for self-defense. Sometimes you need a mindset already for self-defense. Do not be a victim. If you are doing business with a person, get some documentation. This is No Black Gossip. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And y'all guys have a lovely, blissful, and productive day. Peace.